Hey, I'm Miranda Rumi. Welcome to Flow Living, Dusk with Miranda. This is my favorite time of the day, and I'm really happy you're here to share it with me. So, let me tell you what this is. Almost every evening around this time, I come and I sit right here and I watch the day come to a close. I watch the sky change color, I watch the birds fly home and just slow down and I take the day in. And I thought, why not share this? Why not sit here together, you and me, and just talk about life, about living, about how to make life a little easier, a little happier, a little healthier. So, a little about me. I'm a life coach. I've been coaching for 14 years now. And in those 14 years, I've heard just about every kind of story, every kind of question you can imagine. So, really, nothing surprises me anymore. Think of me as your auntie. You know how sometimes there are things you just can't quite talk about with your parents or with your family, your partner, or even with your best friend. Things about life, about what you're feeling, about what you're going through, and you wish you had someone to talk to. Well, that's me. So I'm sitting with you here, Miranda at Dusk, and let's just talk. But first, let me tell you how I ended up here. For as long as I can remember, since I was a little girl, I always loved twilight. That moment when the whole world seems to slow down, to come to rest. There's just something magical about that moment when day turns into evening and light turns to darkness. But for the longest time, I was loving it from the outside. You know what I mean? To be driving somewhere and I see the sky turning pink, gold, and I think, oh, I wish I could just stop and watch this. Even when I'm home, sometimes I'm just too busy doing things and I just not sit and appreciate that. And I wish I could share it with someone. I wish I could be there and just be with it. And instead, I keep going and that ache stays there, that longing. And then something changed about 6 years ago. I was driving through this area coming home from a walk with my dogs, and the sun was setting over the west, and the sky was just, well, a bit like this magical, extraordinary, every color you can imagine. And I just thought, wouldn't it be amazing to live somewhere where I could see this every single day? And then, right there, that moment, I saw my friend Lani. She lives around here. She was just out taking a stroll. So I stopped and said, Lani, do you know if there's a house available around here facing west? Somewhere that I could watch sunsets every day. And she said, yes. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine just moved out of a villa just over there. She's pointing to this house now. Let me talk to the owner tomorrow. And then the next day, we checked. It was available. And I moved in very soon after. That was 6 years ago. And I still wake up to this view every single morning from my big glass windows. The mountains, the coconut trees, the rice fields, this light. I get never tired of it. People go away on holiday because they want to see something different. For me, whenever I go on trips, I couldn't wait to come home to this view. I just feel so grateful to wake up here and see this every day. You probably start noticing the light changes, yeah? And this is something that I want you to know. When I asked Lani that question that magical evening, I was so clear about what I want. I knew exactly what I wanted, a house facing west where I could watch the sunset every single dusk. And the moment I got that clear, the universe just met me there instantly. The answer was standing right in front of me, out taking an evening stroll. I couldn't believe my luck, but that's not luck. That's what happens when you get clear about what you want. Getting clear about what you want is something I'll come back to again and again here because it's at the very heart of how I live now. I call it flow living, living with the flow of nature, with the flow of the universe. And since I really started living this way, my life has become so much more beautiful, amazing, magical, more magical than anything I could have planned myself. But that's a big topic. So I'll save more of it for the episodes to come. The birds. And for now, let me talk to you about the birds because this really is why I sit here. For a long time, even living here, I was always moving, always busy. I would pass right through the dusk without ever really sitting with it. But this past few weeks, something changed in me. I made it a habit. At around 5:30, I come out, I set up my chair here in the garden. Sometimes I bring my dinner out with me, and I just sit for at least an hour and I watch. And what I'm watching for is a bird. So I don't know if you could see, there's the bird there. There's a bird here in Bali, we call it the kokokan. It's a little white heron, like a miniature stork, white with long, thin legs. And when they fly, you can see the legs stretch out straight behind them like a line trailing in the sky. That's how you always know it's them. Nothing else flies quite like them. Not from here to the east, there's a village called Petulu, and there's only one road lined with trees, and every dusk, those trees will be filled with birds, hundreds of them. The trees turn white, they're so covered, and that's where the herons sleep for the night. And the road underneath it is quite white. You don't want to be standing under those words. In the morning, I still have to catch them leaving. I never saw them leaving. But in the evening, I got to watch them. See, there's one there flying. So I sit here, I wait for them, and I count. Some evenings, I count 30. That's the least that I had counted. But sometimes it's 100, even sometimes 120. And they're just flying home. I don't know why or how, but my heart fills with so much joy just watching them flying home, counting them. So something that in the watching, in the counting, in the waiting, that teaches me things, about being patient, about being present, about paying attention to the small things. And that's a lot what I want to share with you here, just about life in general and things that we would like to be better. So this is Flow Living, Dusk with Miranda. It's just me sitting there at dusk, noticing, and then sharing what I noticed with you. Some evenings it might be the birds, some evening it might be about my dogs, my old boy Akira, who's turning 12 next month, and my feisty, sassy, risky girl, Aya. Some evenings it might be just a thought that came through me through the day, or a question one of my clients or students or friends brought to me. And some evenings, honestly, we might just sit quietly together and watch the light change. Because that's living, isn't it? Not everything has to be a lesson. Sometimes it's just about being present, about being where you actually want to be, doing what actually matters to you. And if you ever have a question about life, about how to live it a little more fully, a little more freely, bring it to me. So come back, okay? And sit with me again. For now, though, look at the sky. It's almost 6. The birds are about to start flying home. So I'm going to stop talking now and count them going home for the day. Thank you for sitting with me. This has been truly Flow Living, Dusk with Miranda. I see you at the next dusk.